Hey everyone, Zuka here with the Lich in the Dungeon. Starting up a new series, simply because I have realized that we don't put out enough videos at a time. Because we have a weekly one, which is Cookie Cutter Dungeon. If you haven't seen it, I will put a annotation right here. I cannot position myself in the webcam. Right, yeah, it's gonna be there-ish. Anyway, if you haven't seen Cookie Cutter Dungeon, that's our semi-weekly one. We have to make sure we record in time for me to edit and put it up, and I've been procrastinating on editing this next one. But anyway, this is a new series that I'm starting up. It's going to be a vlog. It's going to be a pseudo channel update and a Zuka rants about stuff in the community and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's basically whatever's on my mind at the time of recording it. Currently, it's stuff going on in the community and channel update stuff. So I guess I'll start with the happy stuff first. Channel update stuff. This is we have some new stuff thinking about coming. We have a partner channel over I'm sorry, I was distracted. We have a partner channel. I don't really want to call it a sister channel because all of us are guys. I don't really want to call it a brother channel either because that's not right. So it's a partner channel. Anyway, Classy Kilroy, annotation here. Good, yeah. I'm a professional and this is a vlog and Classy Kilroy's laughing in the background.
I don't want to call it a sister channel because we're all guys.
It's true though.
Hi, Zuka people. I want to say, hey, don't blame him too much. His videos are great. Continue to check him out.
There we go. Shout
If
out
you guys,
from
you
Classy
guys
Kilroy.
pop up and say, hey, don't be afraid to comment. I like to respond.
So that was Classy Kilroy. Anyway, annotation here and over his face at some point and something like that. I don't know what I'm going to do in post-production. But yeah, so we have a partner channel and we're thinking about doing a series that we're going to alternate back and forth. It's going to be like Nerd News. We're thinking about calling it the Nerd News Network or the NNN just because that would be funny. And we're just going to talk about like weekly stuff that's or bi-weekly or however we managed to do it. It's gonna be me, my co-host Zonke, who is also coincidentally enough Kilroy's co-host for Classy Battles, one of his series. Annotation here. This is gonna be full of annotations today. That's yeah. That might be what I call this first episode, Annotation Frenzy. I think I'm gonna do that. Anyway, you can see I'm very planned.
Holding you to it.
Alright, hold me to it. But, so, let's see, I have Classy Battles in your channel and our playlist up. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm really rambling. It's funny. But, we're gonna start that up at some point. It's gonna be us three, talking about the nerdy goings-on of whatever's going on. If Wizards release something, if there's a new video game, if there's like a new system, just all the stuff you'd expect from a nerdy news network. I think our first episode is going to go up on Classy Kilroy's page, simply for the sheer fact of he has more subscribers than us, so it would reach more people that way. But the second episode will be here, and we're just going to alternate back and forth between each of our channels. And it's going to be a fun series. I hope it's good for all of you to keep up with stuff so that you don't have to check 1,000 different sites, because there's no real local site for a bunch of nerd news. So we figure we'll make one essentially in video form. So that's something that you can look forward to. Also, I'm going to start recording more GM tips. I have like 2 scripts almost fully ready, but I haven't gone in and finished them. I'm so bad at that. Um, so I am going to try to finish them and get those out and get more GM tips out. And I'm going to go ahead and finish editing Cookie Cutter Dungeon and finally post that, because I've been procrastinating on that, and that's been too long coming. I think that was supposed to go up on Tuesday, and it's now Thursday, 7/23, 2015. Which is funny because this is probably not going to go up for a few days, so we're time traveling. Except not really at all. I'm just being an idiot. But it's gonna be fun. So I think that's all the channel news I have right now. But also, not really channel news, more personal stuff. But this is a vlog, so where else would this go? If you ever need me for any sort of voice acting work, I'm totally game for that. Just like let me know if you're looking for a specific voice. I did some really kind of recently, and it was a lot of fun, and so I realized how much fun it was. So I figure if you guys ever want me to record voice acting stuff, just let me know and I will do it. So, because I had a lot of fun, and I'm looking into doing that a little bit more. Nothing professional at all, because first off, I'm not a professional voice actor, and I don't sound like one. But secondly, it's not really something I want to devote a lot of my time to. So nothing professional, but I'm totally game with just doing it for like fun. Like if you need it for a tabletop group or something, like the last person I did it for, they needed some stuff for their group, and they posted in the one shot group on Facebook, the tabletop one shot group. If you haven't checked it out, you totally should. I know I've never talked about it, but GM Juice, he talks about it a lot, so you should totally check it out. It's a great group if you're looking for one shots and other such things, D&D related and not D&D, tabletop related stuff is all there as well, because we post some stuff on there that's not just a looking for one shot group. But yeah, it's a cool group. You should look over and join it. I will put a link in the description, since I have learned recently that you cannot put exterior links in a Facebook annotation. I've tried that I think 3 times now and found out each time that I can't do that. So, but yeah, there will be a link down in the description to it. But you can also just search it on Facebook, Tabletop One Shot Group, and join it. It's a lot of fun. Thirdly, or I guess this is more channel news, which I guess I have more. Again, I'm not planning this vlog at all. But I've been rambling for 8 minutes, so I should hurry up. Anyway, we do have Facebook, Twitter, and not Twitch. We don't have a Twitch yet. We might someday, maybe, probably not. Don't expect it. Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr are all things that we have. Our username on Twitter is @DungeonLich. The Tumblr is dungeonlich.tumblr.com, and then the Facebook is, facebook.com/dungeonlich, or is it /page/dungeonlich, something like that, the Facebook one. Links all down in the description, like they have been for every video, I think. I'm pretty sure I put them up for every video. Don't hold me to that, I'm gonna have to go check that. Anyway, so we do have all 3 of those if you want to follow us. The Twitter is probably the one that you will notice us posting videos on, because it's hooked directly up to YouTube. So it'll tweet every time we post a video. And also I need to get more into tweeting on that. I'm not very active on either of those, or all 3 of them. So I need to get more on that, but I guess if we had more likes, followers, and... Followers? Yeah, Tumblr has followers too. I probably would be more active. So you should like us and follow us on Twitter and Tumblr and Facebook. It's going to be fun. We have fun over there, or at least we will. Anyway, so stuff going on in the community. There's been a lot of talk about power gamers. One person posted a video about how they ruined the hobby, and I remember GM Juice mentioned something about we need to describe what a power gamer is. And I totally agree with him, and I watched that. That was a fun video. But okay, tabletopping is not a hobby that is ruined by people who play. Tabletop is a hobby that will be ruined if people don't play. Because if people aren't playing, then people aren't buying the books. And if people aren't buying the books, then the people making the books aren't making money. And they will stop making the books. So that's the only thing that can ruin our hobby, is people not playing. So if you don't personally like power gamers in your game, or however you call what a power gamer is, again, that's not well defined in our community. It just seems like a stereo term that we use for bad players, which covers like metagamers, rules lawyers, people who play for like strong characters. I guess that's what a power gamer is.
People who tell the DM how to DM.
Yeah, well, that's like rules lawyers and stuff like that. But maybe it's not power gaming. Maybe it's something else that I'm referring to. But if you're watching this from the community, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, either way, like it seems to be an all-encompassing of these are what different people think are bad players, and honestly, it's a game. So if you don't like the way that they are playing, then don't play with them. Don't participate in their group. Find a group that you enjoy playing with and that you enjoy the way that they're playing, and go with that group. With the internet and all of the tools out on the internet, it's no longer a problem if there's only one group who plays D&D in your town and you don't like what they're doing, because first off, you could find other gamers in your town with easily a simple Facebook post, or go to comic shops, all that kind of stuff. But if you have a bunch of friends who play the same or a similar way that you do, you can Skype them, you can Google Hangouts them. There's a site called Roll20 if you are needing a tabletop. It's a virtual tabletop. It's free to anyone to make an account. A couple of the features, like there's a fog of war feature that is free, but then there's like a dynamic fog of war that you have to be like a donor to the site for. But it really, if you're not a donor, doesn't impact the game at all. But if you want to become a donor, it's pretty inexpensive and totally worth it. I was a donor for a while, but then the group I was Roll20ing with kind of dissolved, so there was no reason for me to be paying the monthly thing and not being in any games. So that's why I stopped. But it's totally worth it if you have a game there. But even if you don't want a virtual tabletop and you just are thinking like theater of the mind, Skype, Google Hangouts, like any voice over IP program that you can talk to your friends with. I don't recommend phone calls, but that's the only one that I don't recommend. So you can find a lot of people and just play D&D or tabletop, whatever tabletop game you want to play with them. It's not hard to do. So don't tell somebody that they're ruining the hobby, and don't try to kick somebody out of the hobby because you don't like the way that they are playing. Just find a different group. It's really that easy. That's the plus of living in the day and age that we live in now. You can easily find a different group if you don't like the current one you're in. So don't ever tell anybody that they are the reason that the hobby is falling apart or that they're ruining the hobby, because the only thing that ruins the hobby is when people don't play. So that's just my thoughts on that, and if I go any longer I'll start rambling on and on about things that I've already talked about. So I think that's it for what's going on in our little tabletop community, and I think that's it for channel update. But hopefully I will be recording more of these vlog type of things. These are probably going to be like Zuka rants or Zuka rambles or something like that. This is, I guess, going to be Zuka rambles episode 1, annotation frenzy. So it's going to be good. But yeah, this is the Lich in the Dungeon, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I almost said followed. If you haven't subscribed yet, you totally should, and you should like this video if you enjoyed it, or like the thoughts that I had on it. If you have any comments about what's going on, about what I talked about, you can put them down below, and I have read every single comment so far in previous videos, and I've commented on, if not all of them, most of them. If I didn't comment, I'm pretty sure I liked. I again have to go back and check that. But I've definitely read all of them. So if you have any tips for future GM tips, if you have any topics, comment those down below as well. I am always open to suggestions, even though my list is ever growing when I think of them or when somebody comments them, and I really need to get back on that. Also, if you want to see a different series, comment that down below as well. We're game for doing that. For player tips, that was a series we were going to do, but then Classy Kilroy decided he would take up the torch on that one. So you should go to his channel and watch his player tips, because they are fantastic. They are wonderful for players. So we're going to be like the GM side of things. He's going to be like the player side of things. He's currently doing a series right now on building a character. I believe he is currently up to the process of race and class. So I believe he's barbarian, and he has picked halfling. So, and he's recorded the video on that. I'm not sure if that's live. Is that live? All right, that is live at the moment, so I'm not spoiling anything. So great. You should, if you haven't seen it, you should totally go watch it. Annotation here in our annotation frenzy. I believe that's all I have for you all. So I will see you next time on Zuka Rants or Zuka Rambles. I'm going to figure out a name for this at some point. But either way, until the adventure ends, this is Zuka's Lod, signing off.